What's up, Dolphin fans? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. For those of you that have not already, please hit the subscribe button, follow along, and sit back and relax as I break down some of your Miami Dolphins' best plays this season. I'm going to do Tua Tagovailoa cut-ups. I am doing right now, as you see, some of my favorite prospects throughout the preseason, and we're going to do some game previews and things like that. So lots and lots still to come to this channel. For those that have already checked out my Malik Washington video, thank you so much. I guess I misspoke and I compared him to Jarvis Landry from a speed perspective, and everyone was kind of like, nah, man, Jarvis Landry did not have anywhere near the speed that Malik Washington has. So I just need to sit there and say that I apologize for comparing their speed. I guess I just did not see either of them having elite speed similar to a Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, etc. So I misspoke there. Maybe what I should have said is Malik Washington is a faster, better version of Jarvis Landry, but time will tell with that one. Again, if you have not checked out that video, please go back and check it out now. But today, I want to break down a player that is near and dear to my heart. Obviously, I am talking about third-year linebacker Channing Tindall, the former third-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. 24 years old, 6'2", 230 pounds, ran a 4.47 40, looked very good during his time with the Georgia Bulldogs, but has had a little bit of an uphill battle since being drafted by the Miami Dolphins. Year one, he had Josh Boyer as his defensive coordinator. Year two, last season, 2023, Vic Fangio came to town, and we will not even speak that name into existence. So this year, a critical year with Anthony Weaver, heading into year three, and excitement is at an all-time high for Channing Tindall, not only because of what he did throughout camp, throughout preseason, as I'll show you, but this guy's been grinding all season long. And I have a quote from Anthony Weaver that, gets those goosies raised up, those arm hairs raised up a little bit, and you get excited for the potential of what Channing Tindall can bring to this defense, who, let's be honest, we need a depth piece there at linebacker. He's a guy that can not only blitz from the edge, but can drop back in coverage. Again, I'll show you that, but here is the quote from Anthony Weaver, and I loved everything about this. He was asked about, Channing Tindall's development, and here's what he had to say. "Oh man, I'm so proud of that kid, just because I know nobody puts more pressure on themselves than he does because of where he was drafted and what he wants to be in this league. He just comes out every day and got better. Coach Joe Barry and Coach O'Donnell, defensive assistant, they've invested in him and he's soaking it all in, and now you see the results of that on the field. Incredibly proud of that kid and the strides he's made, and I think he's still in the ascending, still on the climb, so just really excited for him." And again, when you hear that, I'm a guy that has been pretty high on Channing Tindall. You can go back to when he was drafted. I actually have a couple cut-ups I did, seeing the type of playmaker he was in that Georgia defense. The most, popular play that really stood out was in the national championship. I know if everybody's seen it. I think he misread the play. Nakobe Dean chewed him out, and then the very next play he came in and got a game-changing, I believe it was a sack or tackle for loss or something to that effect. So go back and check that out, because Channing Tindall has been a monster before. We have just been waiting for him to take that next step, and I believe what we saw this preseason is at least some promise, and at least should have you excited, and it can definitely speak on why the Miami Dolphins decided to keep Channing Tindall around opposed to some of those other guys. And before we move further, shout out to Curtis Bolton. He is all over the tape when you're watching. Very good player, picked up by the Giants. Wished the Dolphins could have stashed him on their practice squad, but we know they already invested a third-round pick in Channing Tindall. So if those two guys were battling for a roster spot, obviously they were going to stick with the in-house guy in Channing Tindall. So with that said, let's take a look at Channing Tindall's 2024 NFL preseason tape. I'll talk through some of this stuff as I have in the past, but basically, I am not a scout. I am nothing of the sort. Just a dad, a father of three, who right now has to go pick up his two kids at school very shortly, and is being allowed to record this with the youngest that's still at home with me. So, again, I am not an expert. I'm not sitting here telling you Channing Tindall is going to be a stud, because if I did that, let's be honest, I would probably have egg on my face. That's happened before, right? I think I said that I joked we were going to get a Channing Tindall spy game against, I believe it was the Chicago Bears and Buffalo Bills at one point. The Bills, I recall, maybe got a tackle on Josh Allen short of the sticks, but for the most part non-existent. And then him trying to shadow or spy Justin Fields, that did not work at all. So I'm going to put that joke to rest, but what you see right now from Channing Tindall, a more mature player in 2024, and again, a player I think can make an impact in a unit that has Jordan Brooks starting, David Long named captain, starter. But outside of that, what? You have Anthony Walker, who's been up and down, I guess, this preseason, a guy who Mike McDaniel spoke glowingly about, but we've yet to see him really, right? We saw a little bit of him throughout training camp and things like that, but how ready is he for the start of the season? And then Duke Riley, a special teams maven. That's probably why he is still on the roster, because of what he brings from a veteran standpoint and as well on special teams. So I do see a role for Channing Tindall to get involved, whether that's on special teams, rushing down there, trying to make tackles, maybe opening up blocks on the return game. But what's most impressive here is I kind of feel like we might be seeing a guy, I don't want to say take on an Andrew Van Ginkel type role, but that is what I said on another Dolphins podcast. Yes, Chop Robinson, as I'll show you either tomorrow or the next day, he is going to be a very, very dangerous player on third downs, the way the Dolphins use him in pass rush situations, but the way they can move Channing Tindall around as well. I mean, Anthony Weaver should be devising some crazy things with the way they can blitz these quarterbacks and, show misconceptions, guys coming off the edge, oh no, he's not dropping back in coverage, whatever it might be. There's so many versatile pieces here, and I want to see the way Anthony Weaver puts this whole thing together, because for as excited I was about Vic Fangio last year, excitement's at an all-time high for what Anthony Weaver's going to do with this defense. So without further ado, let's take a look at Channing Tindall's 2024 NFL preseason tape. First play you see here is the sack he got before the half, where he just gets shot out of a cannon. Absolutely no chance for the quarterback to get rid of that ball. Next play does a good job of getting downfield, reading and reacting, beating the block there to get the tackle. Nice stuff from Channing Tindall, and from there on, I knew that this was going to be a different Channing Tindall. Here he's mirroring the route pretty nicely from the tight end, comes off, makes the tackle. Nice little blitz here. He's trying to open things up for his teammates behind him, right? Playing a little bit of pinball there. Here he is getting to his zone, coming off to make the tackle. Should have made the tackle. So there's maybe something that we could say that was a negative about Channing Tindall, right? You got to make a sure tackle there. Here he is. Look at the way he fights through and the way he reads and reacts. I mean, it's picture perfect at times. Here he is again. Quick, so quick sideline to sideline. 4.47 speed. Right there, he almost blows it up in the backfield, completely throws off the timing of that. Then the Dolphins recover the fumble. Here's Tindall again coming on the blitz, which the running back steps up to take him on, allowing that edge rusher to come around and get a mean hit on the quarterback. And that's what I want to see from Anthony Weaver. How crazy he's going to get with some of these schemes, with some of these different players he has, right? You can see Channing Tindall can come off the edge if he has to, right there. Nice half sack, just exploding off the ball. Said on another Dolphins podcast, you can move him around, drop him back in coverage, rush him off the edge, do all sorts of things with him. And he's not even the star, right? The star is Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson's probably going to get a lot of those different, play designs and schemed up sort of things. But I want to see what role Channing Tindall has, because I do think there is a role here for him. This play just gets caught in no man's land, right? You could either drop back and let the quarterback rush for the first down, or you step up and let him throw it right over your head. He didn't hesitate there. I mean, he might have been able to get a hit on there and throw off that pass a little bit. Pressure off the edge again. Didn't get home, but still. Quarterback feels that. Here he is again, just fighting through some blocks, fighting through traffic. A lot of the stuff you saw from Channing Tindall throughout college, I mean, that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing on full display here in this Anthony Weaver defense. Again, beautiful open field tackle there. End around. You're going to think you're going to beat Channing Tindall? Not today. No, no, no. Nice inside move. Gets the pressure. Not sure what that flag is, but Tindall's got some moves. Here he is again, just fighting through it. Nah, it's a pretty big chunk there, but still, we're showing it off. Check your pulse if you're not fired up for Channing Tindall. Maybe that's what we should be saying. Look at that. It's picture perfect at times. Blitzing up the middle, throwing off the timing a little bit. Nice incompletion. I want to see you get your hands up, though, Tindall. Get your hands up. Dikembe Mutombo, those passes. Little hesitation there, but still. a lot more instinctive than we've seen in previous years. There, I'll pretend he made that tackle with one hand, but I don't know if it was that effective. Here, coming off the outside to make that tackle, I mean, nobody blocks him because they don't think he has that speed to get there, and he just shot out of a cannon. Here he is getting back into his coverage, back into his zone, and then firing off to make the tackle. And here, just, no, that's not the play. The next one, I believe, is a storybook. Textbook, I should say. Get your hands up. I love it. I love bringing the pressure off the edge, but I need to see Tindall get them hands up. They have to be telling him that, right? Boom. Blown up in the backfield by Jordan Colbert. Channing Tindall cleans it up. And right here, just look at the way he reads the ball carrier. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful way to put an end to this video. That is absolutely gorgeous stuff from Channing Tindall. And that is what I'm hoping to see this season in Anthony Weaver's defense. Again, make or break year for Channing Tindall. He's got all the talent in the world. You know, you can see it throughout this tape. Yes, he's going against second and third stringers, but Channing Tindall looks like he can play linebacker in the NFL. So I'm glad the Dolphins did not give up on him. I'm glad he has another chance this season. And I'm excited to see what Channing Tindall does in 2024 based off of this preseason tape. Guys and girls, if you like what you're listening to, as always, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that little bell if you want to be notified as soon as a new episode is ready. And as always, hit that little thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will do my best to get back to you. And most importantly, thank you so much for the time. And most importantly, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out some of these film breakdowns. I will be back later this week with Jalen Wright, every touch from the 2024 preseason, and on every rep for Chop Robinson. But until then, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Take It to the House. Let me know what you think about Channing Tindall in the comment section below, and I will be back very, very shortly with a brand new Take It to the House film breakdown. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you next time, but until then, Fiddins up.